What if I told you that the most powerful answers in life often come not from words but from silence? There's an ancient Buddhist riddle that goes like this. What is the sound of one hand clapping? At first it sounds like nonsense. How can one hand clap? Where's the sound? Where's the answer? And that's exactly the point. This riddle, known as a koan, has been used for centuries by Zen masters to break through the noise in our minds. It's designed not to be solved like a math problem, but to pierce the limits of logic and awaken something deeper inside us. But why does this matter to you, right now, in your life? Because we live in a world obsessed with answers, explanations, and constant noise. We scroll endlessly, consume content non-stop, and measure our value by productivity. Silence feels uncomfortable. Paradox feels threatening. Yet inside that silence, inside that paradox, is exactly where peace, insight, and transformation live. Today, I'm going to share with you the meaning behind the sound of one hand clapping, tell the story that brings it alive, and show you how this simple phrase can shift the way you handle stress, conflict, and even your sense of self. But before we begin, I want you to pause, take a breath, ask yourself, point 1. Where in my life am I demanding answers when I need to listen to the silence? Point 2. Where am I trapped by the need to control or explain everything when life itself is asking me to surrender? In the next few minutes, we'll go on a journey together. A journey that won't give you neat, packaged solutions, but will open a door to something much richer, a new way of seeing the world and yourself. So stay with me, because sometimes the most important lessons are the ones we can't quite put into words. Long ago in Japan, there lived a great Zen master named Hakuin. People from all over would travel to learn from him, to seek his wisdom, or to test his sharp mind with questions. One day, a young monk approached Hakuin with a restless spirit. This monk had studied the scriptures, memorized teachings, practiced meditation, but still peace escaped him. His mind was tangled in constant thoughts and questions. The monk bowed deeply and asked, "Master, what is the sound of one hand clapping?" Hakuin looked at the young man, eyes steady, face calm. He said nothing. Frustrated but determined, the monk left and sat in meditation. Days passed. He returned, asking again, "Master, what is the sound of one hand clapping?" Again, Hakuin offered no answer. The young monk became desperate. He searched through books, asked other monks, even tried clapping one hand against a wall against his chest, trying to force some sound out of it. But nothing satisfied him. Finally, exhausted and humbled, the monk returned to Hakuin. He fell to his knees and whispered, "Master, I don't know. I give up." And in that moment, something shifted. Hakuin smiled slightly and said, "Now listen." The monk sat in silence, his mind still, his heart open. And in that silence, he heard it, not as a physical sound, but as an experience. The sound of one hand clapping wasn't meant to be answered. It was meant to shatter the mind's endless craving for solutions. It pointed him beyond words, beyond logic, into direct experience, into pure awareness. This story is at the heart of Zen training. Koans like the sound of one hand clapping are not riddles to be solved, but tools to break the grip of the rational mind. They are designed to provoke doubt, to stir the spirit, to push the student to the edge of thought, and then beyond. The lesson here is not about cleverness. It's about surrender. The monk's transformation didn't come from intellectual mastery. It came when he let go, when he allowed himself to sit with the question without demanding an answer. It's in this space, the space between the question and the answer, that something profound opens up. So, what does the sound of one hand clapping mean, and why has it echoed through centuries? At first glance, it's easy to treat this as a trick question or a puzzle. We're trained to look for clever solutions, but Zen is not interested in cleverness. It's interested in waking us up. The koan points us towards something deeper, the limits of language and thought. Our minds are brilliant at labeling, explaining, and dividing the world, but they're not so good at holding paradox. We want things to make sense. We want clear answers, clear categories, right or wrong, good or bad, success or failure. But life rarely fits into neat boxes. The sound of one hand clapping invites us to sit with mystery, to experience what happens when we stop forcing solutions and simply allow ourselves to be present with the question. Think about it. How often in your own life have you demanded answers? When you face heartbreak, uncertainty, or failure, the mind rushes to fix, explain, or avoid discomfort. But some experiences can't be solved. They can only be lived through. This koan teaches us to become intimate with not knowing. In the monk's story, peace arrived not when he figured out the answer, but when he gave up, when he dropped the demand for resolution and opened to the experience itself. That surrender created a space where something deeper could emerge: awareness, stillness, and insight. Zen master Shunryu Suzuki once said, "In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few." The koan returns us to that beginner's mind, where we can meet the world with openness and humility instead of rigid certainty. The sound of one hand clapping is not about sound at all. It's about what remains when sound stops. It's about what you notice when the noise in your head quiets down. It's about the part of you that exists underneath all the striving, worrying, and controlling. And here's the paradox. The moment you let go of needing an answer, the teaching reveals itself. This is why koans are still powerful today. They remind us that life's most profound truths often live beyond logic, and that sometimes the wisest thing we can do is to stop, breathe, and listen to the silence. So, how can we apply the lesson of the sound of one hand clapping in our modern lives? Let's start here. We live in a world that hates uncertainty. From the moment we wake up, we're flooded with opinions, news, solutions, and advice. We're taught that to be successful, we must have all the answers all the time. But the truth is, life is filled with situations where no answer will fully satisfy. Maybe you're facing a tough decision at work or in a relationship. Maybe you're grieving a loss or feeling stuck in a place where your old strategies just don't work anymore. In those moments, the habit of the mind is to panic, analyze, and scramble for control. The koan invites you to do something radical. Pause and stay with the not knowing. Instead of rushing to fix things, what if you allowed yourself to sit with the discomfort, to notice the tightness in your chest, the stories your mind is spinning, the urge to escape? What if you simply breathed into that space? No solutions, just presence. By doing this, you create room for wisdom to arise naturally. Sometimes clarity comes not when we force it, but when we stop pushing. Insight often blooms in the quiet spaces we're usually too impatient to enter. Another lesson we can apply is learning to embrace paradox. Not everything in life fits neatly into a box. You can be strong and vulnerable, joyful and grieving, certain and confused, all at once. The sound of one hand clapping reminds us that wholeness is not about eliminating tension, but about holding opposites together with openness. This also applies to how we relate to others. How often do we demand that people explain themselves, fit into our expectations, or take our side? Imagine if we listen to others the way Zen asks us to listen to the koan, with curiosity, patience, and without jumping to conclusions. And here's a powerful takeaway: practice silence. In conversations, give space between words. In your day, carve out moments without input. No phone, no music, no agenda. Let your mind settle. This isn't about zoning out. It's about tuning in to the deeper currents underneath the noise. Ultimately, the greatest gift of this teaching is freedom. The freedom to stop grasping, to let go, and to experience life as it is. So where does this leave us? The sound of one hand clapping is more than just a Zen riddle. It's an invitation. It invites us to step out of the narrow confines of logic and control and into a space where we can touch something deeper, something beyond words. In a world that rewards speed and certainty, we forget the power of slowing down, of pausing, of not knowing. We rush to solve, to explain, to win. And in doing so, we often miss the quiet wisdom that's trying to reach us. But when we allow ourselves to sit in the mystery, something beautiful happens. We discover that we are more spacious than we thought. we realize that we can hold paradox, joy and grief, doubt and faith, strength and vulnerability all at once. We learn that silence is not emptiness, but fullness, not absence, but presence. The young monk's journey is all of our journey. We search, we strive, we knock on every door. And sometimes, the breakthrough only comes when we stop and listen to the silence that's been there all along. So here's the takeaway I invite you to carry into your own life. Point 1. Practice pausing before you react. Point 2. Sit with your questions instead of demanding immediate answers. Point 3. Notice the spaces between words, between actions, between thoughts. Point 4. Trust that not everything needs to be fixed or figured out. The next time you feel restless or overwhelmed, remember the Koan. Close your eyes. Ask yourself, what is the sound of one hand clapping? And then, just listen. You may be surprised at what arises. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If this video spoke to you, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more stories and insights that nurture the heart and mind. Together, let's keep exploring the places where wisdom lives, often in the quietest corners of our lives.